It's TNT time. Well, since COVID changed our whole world at the beginning of the year, there's been a lot of talk about how the pandemic was going to change what we think, believe, expect, and do. This many months in, I'm wondering if it has or is changing the way society feels about looking pretty. Is the pressure off? Are standards lowered? Are we over being pretty? And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is twofold. One was my mom, and it was when I was still shooting the show from my studio at home. And, you know, we go visit them every Saturday, socially distanced. And she said to me, oh, like my mom's always, you know, she always has something to say about my hair and makeup, right? So I was waiting for the critique. And I said, you know, I'm on my own doing, you know, the whole shebang. And she's like, it's kind of nice. And of course, it was like a double-edged sword kind of compliment. I'm like, oh, thank you. And she's like, no, it's kind of nice that the pressure's off. So she's looking at the fact that, you know, women are seeing the fact that I am just doing sort of the bare minimum when it comes to my face. And then that's giving them permission to sort of walk around with more of a natural look. The second thing I got was a text from a girlfriend. And, you know, we've been trying to clean up our diet, and it's really hard when you're at home because, hey, the fridge is calling and the cupboards are there. And for some reason, we open them up and we think the answer is in there. There's no answer in there, but we just look, right? And you just want to snack. And she was like, listen, I'm working from home. No one sees me except from the boobs up. And I have no motivation to work out, and like no one cares, including me. And I literally had no advice to give her because I totally understand. We have less of that. I don't have a full audience watching me for the whole show. You're only seeing me mostly from the waist up. So it's difficult to get back into the straitjacket of looking cute when you don't have that sort of pressure. So what do you think, T? Are we over being pretty?
Well, listen, if you see the dichotomy between what I look like 6 days of the week and then when I come to do this show, my hair is not this cute. There's no makeup. There's no off-the-shoulder earrings. No, I'm a mess. And I walk outside like that too, and I don't really care. So I think what happened is when all this hit back in March, I just think that we were all looking for comfort. Yeah. So when it comes to food, we were looking for comfort. We were eating. We wanted foods that made us feel good, right? Mm-hmm. And also, we did look for comfort in tuning into TV shows. And normally we would see someone like a Tracy Moore or talk show hosts looking all glam and looking perfect. They're dressed in the perfect clothing. People are dressing them. They have hair and makeup done. And suddenly they're stripped down. Everybody took comfort in that. You know, they're like, oh, they're just like me. They're going through this like me. And all of a sudden, the barriers, the walls, everything came down. And I think people were very happy with that. But do I think it will last? I don't think it will. I think once this is all over, I mean, during the times, because we're still in this. So yeah, going outside, it's very comforting to not have to put any makeup on. People are gaining weight. We all look a mess and it's okay. But I think when we have to go back out into society, or like you said, you have to have a live audience there and we all have to go out and face each other again and no one's just seeing you from here up, I think that there's going to be this. In the beginning, we'll groan and we'll be annoyed with it. But I think there'll be some people, it'll be like a thirst for wanting to put all this eyeshadow on and do their hair because they haven't been doing it for so long. It's almost like when there's a depression or there's some sort of like dip in economy, then all of a sudden everything in the media and movies goes into like, you know, very rich. All the TV shows about people being rich and everything's about being rich and lux and you know what I mean? I think it's just because people come out of something and then they go way over here so the scales tip. So I don't think it's going to last. I think the minute we come out of this, it's going to start to go. And I think not only we're going to put makeup and all that back on, I think all the trends are going to go way to the other end. I think the makeup looks are going to be about a lot of makeup and hair and everybody coming out of the woodwork and going way over the top. I'm not looking forward to that because I don't want to keep that kind of pace up, guys. I serve this for 1 day a week. 1 day a week, believe me, and I'm wearing no shoes right now. So this is what I mean about waist up, waist up, waist up. This is a lot of work. a lot
really,
of work. I don't want to do this going outside.
I agree with you, though, that things are very cyclical. Everything's cyclical. We go through these phases. And I will say this as well. I love the fact if women are feeling more comfortable in their skin in this moment, I love that. Hang on to that as tight as you can. But I will say, when I had to start putting on like proper clothes that didn't include a tracksuit to come into the studio or even go upstairs to my studio at home, there was something about it that did make me feel good. And it does kind of make me feel good to throw on a cute look, even if it's for 3 hours a day. There's something, it's almost like armor. And I know there's a couple of people on Instagram that have said the same thing, like they like kind of looking cute for themselves. And so hopefully we can hang on to that and maybe just do that for us because it makes us feel good. But T, thank you so much. Good advice as always, and I love your opinions.
I want everybody to know too, when we go back to work, I will not be serving all of this up with my hair. It'll go right back into braids. That is very easy. I'm warning you all now. It's not happening.
You are allowed. You live your life. You do what works for you, honey, because it all looks good. Thank you.